What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live to both streaming right now, and we have some brand new cards that have come up, and I happen to know they're the Marincesses, but I know nothing about them other than there's a lot of support that just came out, and I'm pretty excited because these were looking really good. I've been forgetting to mention on Market Watch that, hey, the frog cards might be pretty good pickups right now considering they only have a couple of printings, and they look like good pickups because of this deck, and the deck's made a couple of waves in the OCG, but not really anything insane. So let's see how they improve Blue Angel's new monsters. So this has placeholder for some reason. We've got Marincess Mandarin, a level 1 water Cyberse effect monster, attack 100, defense 100. You can only use this card's name's effect once per turn. If you control 2 or more Marincess monsters and this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target a water link monster you control, special summon this card from your hand to a zone that monster points to, but banish it when it leaves the field. I actually really like that this is graveyard, so if it's regularly on the field somehow, it becomes a further extender, but it's not stuck in your hand either. Like, it can pop out in the hand or graveyard this way. This is pretty decent deck building, especially for a Cyberse type monster that puts no future restriction on what you're doing, just that hard once per turn. I like that card. That's a good card. Alright, we've got Marincess Crowntail. Let's see. She's a level 5, 600. That's very low attack for and 2300 defense, water Cyberse. You can only use this card's name's effect, first and second effects once per turn each, so both effects hard once per turns. During damage calc, when 2 monsters are battling, you can send one other Marincess monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, half the damage you would take from the battle. Okay, these types of cards usually aren't that good, because look at how much you've put in. The second effect has to be busted. At the start of damage step, when your opponent's monster is attacked, so you're attacking, you can banish this card from your graveyard. For the rest of this turn, you don't take any damage that is less than 1000x the combined link rating of the Marincess link monsters in your graveyard. Yeah, this card's not doing much for me unless there's some really insane battle tricks. It's just not worth the card equity that you're putting into everything. You have to send the monster from hand to grave, special this, like, cool, but it's got what a lot of the Cyberse cards have as their problems, and that's card equity. Alright, let's get into Marincess Blue Tongue. She ain't really showing her blue tongue off, but okay. A water Cyberse effect level 4, 1500/1200. Maybe that's a good thing considering the Yu-Gi-Oh community. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send a Marincess monster from your deck to the graveyard. So anything that's a foolish burial goods for an archetype's usually good for it. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a water link monster, so it's a foolish, then you're doing something else with those resources that you want to engrave as shown earlier. You can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and add an excavated Marincess card from to your hand. Shuffle the other cards in the deck. This is a solid, well-rounded monster. 1500 attack, level 4. If it's used as a link, self-replaces. When normal summon gets you something engraved that will be advantage later. This is good stuff. This is good card equity. That's rare for Cyberse, ain't it? Well, Solomon Greats. Marincess Crystal Heart, a water Cyberse link effect. Link 2, and it's attack 0, bottom left, bottom right. So good arrows, but nothing in the attack department for you once again. While this card is in the extra monster zone, it is unaffected by opponent's card effects. Well, that's never good. That's for the game anyways. An opponent's monster that battles this card is unaffected by effects except its own during the damage step only. Okay. With this card, or a Marincess monster this card points to is selected for an attack, you can send one Marincess monster from your hand to the graveyard. Your battling monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage from this battle. So this is a pretty annoying card to have out. Those stall strategies that you have problems dealing with when you're newer to Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm getting flashbacks right now to them. Overall, a transitional link too that has some funny stickability to the field. Marincess Wonderheart, so continuing with the heart theme. Water Cyberse link effect. Link 4, 2400. Finally some attack, but at what cost? All arrows are good. Sideways, sideways, bottom sideways, bottom sideways. 2+ water monsters, so very generic. You can use the frogs to make this once per damage calc. When this card is battling a monster, you can special summon a Marincess monster card equipped to this card, and if you do, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle from this damage during the end phase. Equip the special summon monster to this card, so it like loops it. Okay. If this card is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon one Link 3 or lower Marincess monster from your graveyard. So you probably linked up to there to get to it. It's just kind of a floater, which is odd for Link 4, but I guess you might get there with low equity. But at that point, aren't you just going to be trying to make Toad, it feels like? Huh. Sissy Angel, do not loot this lolly. She is cute and must be protected. Water Cyberse 1000, Link 1, and it's just a left arrow. Huh. I guess you do summon 2 arrows, so if it's in the main monster zone, it continues with the first card that we reviewed. You can only link summon 1 Marincess Angel per turn. And it's specifically taking a level 4 means you can't just link down into it with the rest. If this card is link summoned, you can add 1 Marincess spell card from the deck to the hand. That could be actually really insane. Link 1... any level 4 or lower Marincess monster. So, yeah, that's why you can't just go a Link 2 into it or a Link 3, because you're reviving those. That's pretty good card equity once again. Good freaking job. You will see her running around a lot. Oh, wow. That is good. That's good cards. Marincess Battle Ocean, field spell card. So this is one of the things she can grab. Marincess monsters you control gain 200 attack, and they also gain 600 attack for each equipped Marincess equip card. So I guess the cards might be treated as equipped. Okay. Monsters you control in the extra monster zone that were link summoned using Marincess Crystal Heart as a material are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. That's pretty dang specific for a monster. Marincess Crystal Heart. Which one is that again? Wonderheart. Crystal Heart's the link 2.
That's the link 2.
Yeah, that's interesting. So very specific on your routes up through the deck if you're using the field spell. But man, unaffected by opponent's card effects sure does seem worth it, but then you just hit the field spell and then it goes down. When you link summon a Marincess link monster to the extra monster zone, you can activate this effect. Choose up to 3 Marincess link monsters with different names in your graveyard and equip them to that link summon monster. Well, there's your attack problems for the entire deck. 600 attack for each equipped Marincess equip card. Equips 3 of them. If you've linked, and makes it... Oh, wow.
Yeah, effectively plus 2,000 attack and unaffected by your opponent's card effects.
Again, the weakness in the armor here is the field spell, but Spell and Trap Destruction quickly being played 2019 has increased thanks to Mystic Mind, but still... Holy crap, that is actually very interesting in the terms of, like, they're trying to give extra power and advantage to cards that do these kinds of effects, right? Because these cards have gone out of style in a lot of senses, so they have to make compensations, it feels like, and they've done a great job with this, but it makes me raise an eyebrow. Like, this seems pretty dang insane. And then your Link 4 can actually start looping those, like... Wow, they did a great job with this, actually. I'm very impressed with this card design.
Real quick, I'd like to point out that currently Battle Ocean is the only Marincess spell. But don't forget they do have a archetypal infinite impermanence from the last set of support.
Yeah, that's insane as well. Marincess Snow is a normal trap card. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. If a Marincess Link monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of those monsters. Link summon a Marincess Link monster from your extra deck with a lower Link rating than that monster. As long as you control it, it is unaffected by your opponent's effect. So it doesn't say ignoring its summoning conditions, I feel like. So I wonder if you can go into Sissy Angel. I wonder how that's going to be ruled. Because I'm sure in order to Link summon, you'll have to meet the conditions. So I don't think you can go straight into the one by how this is worded. You can target one of those monsters, Link summon a Marincess Link monster from your extra deck with a lower... Yeah, so it's Link summoning. As long as you control it, it is unaffected. I gotta reread this one more time. If a Marincess Link monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of those monsters. So you're not using any materials. I guess you can, if the two happen to go. Link summon one... Okay, yeah, so you're not using the Link monster as a material. Okay, that was confusing at first. This is what happens with live reactions. You gotta soak it in. Get it? Soak. So if a Marincess Link monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of those monsters. So it would be targeting it in the graveyard because it's destroyed. You link summon a Marincess Link monster from the extra deck with a lower rating. As long as you control it, it's unaffected. Wow. So this theme of unaffected by opponent's card effects, they're not scared of that, huh? They're just going all out for these anime character decks. And Marincess Cascade. Normal trap card. If you control a rank 3 or higher Marincess monster, you can activate this card from your hand. So rank 3, I mean, link 3, right? Is the link rating.
I'm assuming this is a mistranslation. And real quick, somebody
banish
it's supposed to be a special summon treated as a link summon.
Alright, banish any number of Marincess Link monsters you control until your next standby phase. Then target one face-up monster on the field. That monster loses attack equal to the link rating of the monsters banished by this effect times 300. That's pretty niche. I get that it's a battle trick, but at the equity of cards on field, I don't think this one will be that good, especially when you have like an archetype, infinite impermanence, etc. They can't all be winners, but they're definitely doing a great job shaping this deck. And they're doing an overall really good job with the monsters. I would say, like, you know how usually X amount of monsters are useless? So far, I'm really liking the card design. I'm really liking how they're building them. And I'm liking how they're going back more towards old card building and trying to make it viable in the new age. And this kind of looping equipped monsters to the field, this slingshotting of monsters. It's a pretty unique concept that I'm a fan of. Okay, so Kaijus kill this deck. Yeah, Kaijus are pretty full power, but I don't know that they're a blanket answer. This you're going to be able to make totally awesome in these decks. A lot of these do not have many restrictions in how you're going to be playing the rest of your turn for this release. They did a really good job at pushing Marincesses forward. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this take on it. And I'm impressed. Color me impressed. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If maybe I'm over impressed by this. I've been looking forward to the Marincess cards after the first release and hoped that it was another strong entry, and I wasn't let down. But as a duelist, what do you think of them? Let me know.